is Brian Spears. I am the president of the Austin chapter of Americans United for Separation of Church and State. And thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. Americans United works to preserve religious liberty to the fullest extent possible in our society. We believe that the best way to do this is to fulfill the Founding Fathers' command to keep religion a matter for the individual conscience and not allow elected officials to favor, endorse, or denigrate any religion. In other words, our freedom to worship or not, as we see fit, is inextricably linked to the separation our Constitution has established between church and state. Now, Americans United does support the ostensible aim of this resolution, ensuring the balanced treatment of religious groups in textbooks. This is not only critical to a solid education, but also is required by the Constitution. Public schools constitutionally cannot use textbooks that promote or denigrate any religion. The resolution's effect, however, falls far short of this goal. The resolution talks about only two religions, Christianity and Islam, and sets them up as being in conflict. If something is pro-Islam, it must therefore be anti-Christian. The inevitable result is that the resolution has the effect of singling out Islam for special condemnation. The allegation that Middle Easterners investing in U.S. public school textbooks, publishing companies will increase the ongoing discriminatory treatment of religion only makes matters worse. And the resolution's proponent has predicted that these publishing companies will publish textbooks with the intent to push a particular agenda and to control the minds of young people. He also believes that the resolution would ensure that textbooks are not used to take children down the path toward jihad. Rather than fulfilling the resolution's stated purpose of enforcing the Texas Education Code provision on basic democratic values of our state and national heritage, the resolution undermines core democratic values of inclusion and respect for all religions. It adds fuel to the anti-Islam rhetoric currently circulating around the country, and it is another attempt to put politics ahead of children's education. Promotion or disparagement of one religion's beliefs is particularly troubling in public schools. It sends a message to families and children about who the school believes are insiders and favored members of the school community, and who are outsiders and therefore unwelcome. Families entrust public schools with the education of their children, but condition their trust on the understanding that textbooks will not purposely be used to advance religious views that may conflict with the private views of the student and his or her family, nor denigrate the religions of the students in the classroom. We urge the board to oppose this resolution. Although the purported goal of balanced treatment of religion is commendable, the resolution actually achieves the opposite result. It has the effect of disparaging Islam. The board should focus on giving Texas school children the best education possible and not stir up fear and intolerance. Thank you for letting me speak to you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Mr. Spears? Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Spears, I appreciate you coming up and addressing the board, but I am going to take issue with the statement that you made that the Constitution establishes a separation of church and state. I have a copy of the Constitution in case you'd like one. I will make you the same offer that I made in the New York Times of $1,000 to the charity of your choice. You can give it to Texas Freedom Network. If you can find in this document the words separation of church and state. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Mr. Spears? Or would you like to respond, Mr. Spears?
What was the question?
I'm sorry. I don't think that was the question, but you may respond if you'd like.
I would like your assistance in finding the word separation of church and state in this copy of the Constitution.
It probably is alongside right to privacy, separation of powers, other understood concepts from the Constitution that do not exist in those words in the Constitution.
Okay, so your statement was misleading.
No.
He's trying. You're not going to collect the $1,000.
I'd like to. I'd like to.
Are there any further questions for Mr. Spears? Mr. Mercer.
Just two questions. First, do you agree that the words separation of church and state are not in our Constitution?
The phrase, the separation of church and state, does not exist in the Constitution.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you. You made a milestone.
The concept, however, I think that's what you're asking. The concept does.
No, I'm asking you specifically that the phrase exists, and you just agreed with me.
It does not.
So you just lost $1,000, so I'm going to get $1,000 too. So.
Here's one way.
Thank you.
Mr. Allen.
No, I was waiting on the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spears.
All right, thank you.
Deborah.